Okay, so here we are back in the project space. So we've got our two screens for our app. We got our landing screen and we got our sign-in screen. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add pathways through these screens. That's so that when we demo the app, we can kind of show people, okay, if I tap on this button, here's the screen that's going to come up. So it's kind of a neat way of having a dynamic demo for your app. So what we're going to do is we're going to add what are called hotspots to elements of our app. So hotspots are like buttons or things that if you tap them, something is going to happen. You go to a different screen. Okay, so this obviously this is not a fully functional app, but it's a demo that we can use to convince people maybe to fund our app or to buy our app or to use our app. So we're going to add hotspots to our screens, and that's called prototyping. So to do that, if I hover over, say, the home screen, wherever there's a hotspot, probably for me, the hotspot's going to be that sign-in button, because if a user taps that sign-in button, it's going to take them to the second screen, the sign-in screen. So that's going to be a hotspot on that landing page. So I'm going to go to that landing page. I'm going to hover over this button here. It says prototype when it's green. I'm going to click on that. It's going to take me to a page that looks like this. Okay, so this is where you set up your hotspots and links. It's kind of like links to different pages of your app. Okay, so for me, this button here is going to be a hotspot. In other words, if the user taps on that, it's going to take them to the login screen. So to set up a hotspot, basically it's dragging and dropping rectangle. So I'm going to move my cursor to the upper left-hand corner. I'm going to click down, hold it, and you see when I drag it, there's that kind of blue rectangle that forms up. I'm going to make that a hotspot. Okay, so once I choose that hotspot, you'll notice that then this screen comes up on the bottom. So this is asking, okay, when the user clicks on that hotspot, what screen are they going to go to? And for me, it's going to be the second screen right here. So I'll click on that. We'll close this up. And so what you would do is you'd go to all the different pages or all the different screens in your app and add hotspots. So if there are places where the user clicks that takes them to a different screen, you would add those kind of links so that you can demo, okay, this is what it looks like when I interact with my app. Okay, but for me, there's only one. That's that sign in button. So I'm done. So I'm going to click on done, the blue done button in the upper right corner. Takes me back to the project page. Okay, and now we can demo the app. We can actually play it or demo it. So we got a kind of complete working prototype. We can demo the app. So to demo it, there's different ways to demo it. You can click play, the green play button in the upper right corner here, or you can just hover on one of your screens and you can see there's a play button in the upper right corner of the screen. So I'll just click on play right here. Okay, that takes me to the screen that looks like this. And if you've looked at the demos that I've showed you from the previous ones, you kind of recognize here's a prototype of your app. If I hit the sign-in screen, see how it takes me to the second page, and so that shows you kind of the functionality. Now it's not functional in the sense that, okay, now I can go ahead and type in my username and email and password and it's going to sign me in. Not functional in that way, but it just shows you the progression through your app. Okay, so that's making a prototype, and that's how you set up kind of a mock-up of your app that you can demo to a lot of people, a lot of customers. This could be something that you would demo to somebody who's maybe going to fund you, give you money so that you can develop your app. Maybe you're trying to sell it, or maybe you just want to get people to use it. So this is kind of a neat way to do that, and it's also a way of focusing your thoughts. And before you sit down and start typing code, to actually know what you're shooting for. Okay, so that's how you make a prototype.